salam sejahtera kepada semua pendengar. Selamat datang ke podcast Jejak Alumni FSSK, Transformasi Mahasiswa ke Alam Pekerjaan. Saya Nur Azura binti Abdul Said dan saya akan menjadi hos anda untuk episod kali ini. Podcast ini bertujuan untuk mengetengahkan pengalaman serta perjalanan alumni FSSK dalam menempuh alam pekerjaan. Di samping itu dapat memberikan inspirasi dan panduan kepada para mahasiswa yang bakal menamatkan pengajian dan memulakan kerja mereka. Pada episod kali ini, bersama kita ialah Cik Alia Imanina binti Zulkhalif, alumni program Antropologi dan Sosiologi Universiti Malaysia Sarawak. Terima kasih kerana sudi meluangkan masa bersama kami hari ini.
Thank you.
Okey, baiklah. Cik Alia, boleh anda perkenalkan diri anda secara ringkas kepada pendengar?
Okay, boleh. Hai, nama saya Alia Imaninda binti Zulkhalif. Saya berusia 24 tahun. Saya dilahirkan dan dibesarkan di Kuching, Sarawak. Dan saya merupakan alumni program Antropologi dan Sosiologi UNIMAS, batch tahun 22-23.
Okey. Oh, memang orang Sarawak?
Memang orang Sarawak, ya.
Bagus. Okey, so itu kita terus yang ke soalan seterusnya.
Boleh.
Bilakah anda menamatkan pengajian?
Okay, kalau nak accurate, saya menamatkan pengajian pada bulan 6, bulan 7. That is usually the end of semester tahun lepas. Dan saya telah graduasi saya adalah pada bulan 11 November. Tapi secara officialnya, the last paper was bulan 7 last year, tahun 2025.
Okey. Ramai pelajar mungkin tertanya-tanya tentang apa yang sebenarnya dipelajari dalam bidang ANSOS, Antropologi dan Sosiologi ini. Jadi pada pandangan Cik Alia lah, apa kemahiran utama yang diperoleh sepanjang mengikuti program antropologi ini?
Okay, soalan yang bagus. Bagi saya betul, kalau kita nak cakap ANSOS ni berfokus kepada teori, that is correct. And saya tak menafikan lah perkara tu sebab sepanjang saya belajar pun saya rasa most of the time kita orang fokus dengan kalau pelajar ANSOS sendiri tahu all the big big scholars, so macam Karl Marx, macam Emil Durkheim, and ketika 3 tahun pengajian pun you keep on listening all these names and you keep on learning theory. So kita kena cari teori apa yang boleh dipakai atau diguna pakai untuk explainkan sesuatu situation atau untuk kita memahami sesuatu situasi yang berlaku di dalam the social ataupun dalam masyarakat. Tapi pada pandangan saya, kemahiran yang saya pelajari actually dalam program ni adalah cara untuk mengaplikasikan teori tu ke dalam skill set yang kita ada. So, kita ada macam-macam teori kan. For example, kalau Marx, we do have the power dynamics punya theory, and then Emil Durkheim, we have the fundamentalism punya theory. And for me myself, memang adalah agak sukar untuk kita terus mengaplikasikan teori ni. Sebab teori ni pada asasnya sangat berat. I feel like it's very heavy for you to suddenly jump into conversation and cakap pasal Marx, cakap pasal Durkheim. Siapa je nak dengar you cakap pasal Marx dengan Durkheim kan? Tapi pada masa yang sama, skill set adalah macam mana saya nak explain Macam skill set adalah kata kerja kan? Cara berkomunikasi is satu verb ataupun kata kerja. And then kemahiran bekerjasama atau berkumpulan adalah juga satu kata kerja. Kemahiran memimpin. Memimpin is also a verb. It's also an action. So it's for you, teori-teori yang kita belajar adalah untuk pelajar ataupun it's for you to apply these theories melalui cara through how you deliver these skill sets. So not necessarily within the skill set, but the theories tu akan membentuk pola pemikiran yang akan memberi impak kepada macam mana korang mempraktikkan kemahiran korang ada. So for example, in my case, I'll use the easiest example lah. But I rasa it's an easy example, which is kemahiran berkomunikasi. Kalau kita belajar pasal Marx, and if we study about Durkheim and we study about Weber, for example, ia akan mengubah sedikit sebanyak pola pemikiran kita. Personally, I sangat-sangat enjoy kelas Mr. K. So, I rasa dalam banyak-banyak kelas, kelas Mr. K paling masuk. Maybe sebab dia paling garang kot kan. Dia paling masuk, and then I was able to take it in because I found it interesting enough that it changed my scholarship atau how I think. And eventually, benda tu seeps into my skill set lah. How I communicate with people, then I terfikir, oh, kalau Marx kan dia cakap ada working class dengan there's working class and then there's this elite class. You have proletariat and you have bourgeoisie. Secara tidak langsung, I also find myself applying this throughout my communication punya skill set. So I realized that, okay, kalau I nak cakap dengan orang bourgeoisie, for example, the working class, what are the proper languages for me to use? And when you talk about languages, then it starts to seep into teori-teori lain yang korang belajar dalam kelas ENSOS. So I rasa there's no direct kemahiran. Like I cannot just simply say, oh, kemahiran membuat research atau membuat penyelidikan. That's typical, right? But it's also the fact that teori yang korang belajar ni, korang boleh je apply dalam kemahiran-kemahiran yang ada. And it depends on how you let this theory impact your pola pemikiran. That's how you're going to deliver the skill sets that you already have. That's apa yang saya rasa lah.
Okay, menarik. Okay, seterusnya. Saya mau tanya pasal cabaran yang terbesar yang pernah kamu hadapi ketika belajar sepanjang bergelar mahasiswa.
Okay, cabaran terbesar. Bagi saya aktif dalam persatuan di luar Unimas. So, saya tak berapa aktif dekat dalam Unimas. Ni pun sebab saya rasa macam Unimas is a place for me to study, so I don't really venture into curricular stuff. I do join lah. Kalau BRC buat BRC week, I join je jadi penonton kan. That kind of level of joining and participation lah. And I felt like the most yang paling saya involved in was in my final year, and that was for FOSH. And that was also because I was in ANSOS committee at the time lah. Jadi, I had to learn how to balance my life dalam Unimas and dekat luar Unimas. Sebab di luar Unimas, saya banyak menjalankan program-program and I organize a lot of activities untuk community and penduduk. And it's a variety of people, pelbagai apa orang cakap, lapisan masyarakat that I had to deal with outside of Unimas. And it's a lot tougher sebab dalam Unimas you have a very specific target, which are pelajar. You seorang pelajar, so you pun tahu macam mana nak cakap dengan pelajar, you tahu macam apa yang pelajar nak dengar, apa yang akan apa yang akan menarik pelajar untuk datang ke program you, ataupun kan, and what will they find interesting. And that's easy kalau in unis, any uni sekalipun, kalau you umpan cakap, okay, program hari ini ada makanan percuma, you get free food today, they will come because these are students. But on the outside world, right, you are meeting these kinds of people and you realize that as much as it's good to have done programs in Unimas and it's a really good exposure because you know leadership skills, you can't always apply the same things in Unimas ataupun in uni outside. And I had to learn how to balance that. Because dalam Unimas, I was mainly involved in academic-based programs. So macam kalau ANSOS, you had Nexus. You teach people the theories in a very light way. You sort of introduce them to ANSOS punya program. But outside, I cannot talk about people. I cannot talk about Marx to people later I masuk jail because it's Marx. I cannot talk about it, right? And I had to find a balance. And over time, I think masa tu year 2 atau year 2 lah I rasa. Because year 2 we started having classes dengan Mr. K. So masa year 2 tu, what I felt was that I punya pola pemikiran dah berubah. I tak fikir macam I fikir masa first year. Sebab masa first year, you ingat, okay, ni teori kita akan belajar masuk SEM ni kita belajar pasal orang Iban lah, orang Bidayuh lah, orang Ulu lah kan. But then you masuk that year and you realize, oh, I'm not learning about all these people. I'm learning about the theories that can be applied when you're assessing atau when you're looking at how these people live their lifestyles. And eventually that changed your pola pemikiran because you started to see these different theories, right? And my challenge at the time adalah macam mana I nak interact dengan orang yang bukan akademik and orang dekat luar Unimas, tapi still rasa macam still rasa like I could stay true to my own principles. Sebab I felt like once I've learned all these theories, you dah create and build this principle and values kan. Sebab you dah faham, okay, kenapa Marx fikir macam ni? Kenapa Durkheim fikir macam ni? Why does Weber think so, right? And this establish your own scholarship on that particular matter, which eventually jadi you punya prinsip dan jadi you punya nilai yang you terapkan dan jadi sesuatu, for me it became my ethics. So how do I make sure bila I keluar and buat program dengan orang kampung, dengan community, that I tak tiba-tiba masuk academic mode and switch into academic mode and suddenly talk about, oh, kapitalis ni semua jahat and all that, while in fact banyak je orang kat kampung tu berjual dan semua tu kan. And I feel like there was a point where I was so driven by these kinds of theories that I sort of forget to turn it off and be reminded that, okay, not everything is bad and not everything is good. Like in ANSOS, there's no good and bad, right? It depends on how you objectively view something, and it depends on how you take something in juga and how you interpret it. So to me, that was my challenge. Sebab at that point, I tak tahu macam mana nak balance and cakap dekat orang kampung that, hey, this is wrong. According to Marx and according to Durkheim, this is not how it should be. I can't tell them that, obviously. I tak boleh cakap dengan orang kampung that, you patut dengar apa yang ni cakap, because their community, they don't have, I'm not saying that they are not, I'm not saying that they're not educated enough. They're not. They are educated in their own ways. If you're looking at knowledge and wisdom, they are very locally, very wise and locally knowledgeable. And that's when I realized everybody has their own interpretation of things. And my job here is to learn how to switch off that switch. Whenever I kat luar, I cannot be the Alia that I am in Unimas. And whenever I'm in Unimas, I have to take apa yang I belajar dekat luar tu, then I jadikan benda tu as a situation that I could apply my theories for. So, I rasa itu adalah cabaran terbesar sebab you baru belajar, I baru belajar, and I sangat-sangat passionate, especially kelas Mr. K. I sangat suka his classes. So I sangat passionate about his class and I nak semua orang tahu that, oh, kapitalis menyebabkan eksploitasi, bla 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 bla. I nak semua orang tahu benda tu. Tapi at the same time, I rasa macam, kawan I pun banyak buat business and business doesn't and now I realize that business doesn't necessarily become a capitalist product. Sometimes there are also working class people who has to do business because they have to provide for themselves, right? So yeah, awal-awal I belajar tu, I memang sangat-sangat passionate. I memang sangat-sangat driven. You cannot tell me otherwise. But lama-lama bila I dah belajar and I took more Mr. Clay classes and took more Dr. Suhaidi classes, I rasa macam, okay, maybe I should tone down benda tu sikit sebab yelah, tak semua nak dengar and apa yang you nak cakap satu, and then as anthropologists,